Okay, good morning, everybody. Let's get going here. All right, so US finally found the sell-off last night, falling pretty hard. S&P was down 33 points in the end, so quite a dramatic sell-off, along with the oil price and OPEC cutting its demand outlook for 2015 while reiterating its decision not to cut production. Energy sector stocks like ExxonMobil and Noble Corporation, having a deep sell-off. Surprisingly, we actually held very well in Sasol yesterday. There was some big action around a certain level, around 403, and just couldn't get any lower. Eventually closed lower, a couple of bucks lower in the auction, but a pretty solid session out of Sasol. GlaxoSmithKline fell after Bank of America Merrill Lynch downgraded it from neutral to underperform, and other stock-specific news. JP Morgan Chase dropped sharply after announcing its negative fourth quarter trading update. Out of Asia, following the US session, all down in the red. Hang Seng and Kospi taking the worst of it. Shanghai outperforming again. Aussie down 0.5%, so not panicking too much. And Nikkei down 0.9%. The last I saw, Billy's in Oz was down about 1.5%, and Tencent had a little bit of a bounce off the low on the Hang Seng. It's down 1.5% as well. So not looking all that great for our open. We're down 400 points, so we'll see how Billy's and Tencent affects Naspers on the open. No corporate action to speak of. Key factors today. We had Japanese machine orders, which came out earlier. Looked like a lot worse than expected. UK RICS house price balance, German CPI at 9, SAB art consumer confidence at 12, US retail sales, US import price index, and 330 US jobless claims. Probably the only one that's really going to move any markets today. And then at 4:45 we have Bloomberg consumer comfort. All right, we'll jump to the maps quickly. Let's start with the Aussie. So if we just zoom in a little bit here. Yesterday we broke sort of to a new sort of low from, I would say, mid-November. Just making our way a little bit lower sort of every day over the last sort of week. We looking like we want to actually test the lows again. The lows are probably 1,000 points lower than this, and we're getting close to closeout. I know some strike levels have been broken and some are getting close, so we might see some panic selling either today. I mean, we're down almost 400 points, so we might get a bit of continuation today, but it'll be interesting to see. There's always a bit of action going into closeout, which is next Thursday. The next one I was going to show is ARL. So ARL is the kind of stock you actually want to identify early on. Stocks that are on a super trend, you want to wait for it to consolidate and to break higher and sort of ride with it. Right now we've been consolidating again after a sharp move higher. Looking for, I'd say, to try and break out the intraday highs around 175. The closing high is around 172.5, but that's going to give our next buying opportunity, I would say. Looking really solid as a stock, and it looks like it just wants to keep going higher. Next one I was going to show is Discovery. So Discovery has started slowly making its way lower. It's held up really well in this range between sort of 108.50 and 111, 112. But broken below that short-term level. I'd say the next sort of really interesting level would be around this level here at 104. So I would say if we can get a little bit of a reversal, we'll sell off to that level and a reversal off that level. I would say that's a really good entry point for Discovery. Again, one of the strongest stocks on the board. One you want to be looking to buy pullbacks. And if it slices through 104, I'd say the 50-day moving average might be interesting. Around 102, a reversal of that level could be a good entry point. Next one I was going to show MTN. So MTN recently, let me just give a slightly longer term chart, broke out of this uptrend. It's been struggling. It's really been struggling. We've had a big seller in this market recently. We try to make a couple of recoveries. We're trying to make a recovery sort of the end of November. Failed off that breakdown level and sold off down to about 205 intraday. Again, we had this try to take out 220. I think we closed above there 1 or 2 days, and then yesterday we failed dismally again. Big sell in the market yesterday. If we get a bit of continuation here, which I'm not involved on the short side. If anything, I'd be looking to buy on the long side, but there is still a lower target here from this break of trend. So I wouldn't be surprised to see it come a little bit lower before it recovers, especially if we get a bit of market selling. All right, Old Mutual. It's one we've been following. We also, again, like a lot of stocks on the board, it gave us this nice flag after a nice move higher. Broke out above 35. We actually showed this one yesterday. Failed it, and failed it, and couldn't regain it the previous day. It's I would say that the range has been between around 34, 30, just slightly lower possibly, and 35. If we could realistically trade lower today with the market being under pressure, I see an close 34 on the dot in London last night. So if we get a reversal of this level, it could be a good entry point. If it breaks below 34, I'd probably be cutting and waiting for another entry lower down. And then just updates on other ones we've been following. Standard Bank. The Standard Bank has just been so difficult to trade. We've been looking at this inverse head and shoulders. It's given us a few false breakouts. Again, it's failed the breakout. Just I think more on general market selling than anything stock specific. But we really need to sort of gain this 140 level or 141 on a closing basis to have confidence that it's going to move higher. I would say the next entry point of interest is right now probably around 135.50, 136 level. If we get down there and fail that, then I would probably be out of the position if you're involved. If it reverses off that level, it might be a good entry point. And then the very last one, Steinhoff, very similar. Steinhoff we showed taking out new highs at $60. I think it only closed there briefly once, failed the day before yesterday. Yesterday it put in a little bit of an effort to try and get higher, but for now we're looking for it to retake 60 to make a decent move. So let me just zoom in here. A decent move higher. I fully expect that to happen at some stage, and then on the downside, if we do get a little more of a sell-off, we're looking for something around the 57 level, a reversal off there. It could be a great entry point as well. And that's all for today, guys. Good trading.